What you talking about, Willis? There's a. You mean there's other brands out there besides Rolex? There's other watches out there besides the Submariner? I, yeah, I'm flabbergasted. I don't know what to say, guys. Um, on that note, hope you enjoyed the video. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending on what time you're watching this, what part of the world you're in. This is the Watch Lounge. Chris coming at you with another video. Today's video is a little bit different. I haven't really done a topic video for a while now. I figured I'd pull a topic video out, guys. Quick wristwatch check. Getting ready to go actually meet up with a buddy of mine, Jorge. Jorge, if you're watching this, I was filming this today. But getting ready to go meet up with a buddy of mine, just wearing the Hamilton khaki. He's in town, so going to pretty good to get to meet some watch buddies finally, guys, in person now that everything's opening back up. But today's video is a topic video anyway. Sorry about spilling off there. Today's video is a topic video, and this is other brand alternatives to the Rolex Submariner, guys. Now, this is not a saying that these watches are any better than Rolex Submariner or the Rolex Submariner is better than any of these watches. This is just different price ranges from entry level to mid tier to I guess what many would consider luxury level, and these are basically for all budgets, and these are also alternatives to what you can get over Rolex Submariner. Now, some of them are homages or copies to the Rolex Submariner if you like that look, while others have their own kind of unique touch, unique kind of take on their brand, on the watch itself. Basically, I want to go over, like I said, 3 different tiers that will probably fit everybody's budget. Now, there might be maybe 10 to 15 to 20 watches on here, so this video might be a little bit longer. You can skip ahead, see which watches you like, which watches you don't like. I'm trying to work on my editing it a little bit more as well, so I'm trying to I'm gonna insert some pictures in here and there while I'm talking about the sub watches. But like I said, I just want to do 3 different levels because everybody's on a different budget, and some of these do look again like the Rolex Submariner, but again a lot of them don't, and these are alternatives. In case you're just tired of the waiting list games from the 80s, in case you're just tired of all the games in general, paying the overpriced, which I would never pay above retail on a Submariner or any Rolex for that matter, guys. That's just ludicrous to me. I never got that. If it's not meant to happen, it's not meant to happen, guys. But excuse me, guys. I'm just looking down here at my notes, so I'm not trying to be rude or anything. First off, in the affordable category, we have the Orient Canvasu. It's a great watch. I believe it retails for right under $200 or right around $200. Excuse me, guys. On Amazon, you can usually find an Amazon US, probably Amazon UK, as well as Amazon Australia, all the other countries. I think you probably find them on Amazon for a couple $100s or so, about $230. Like I said, you can get on a strap, you can get on a bracelet. It has that Orient in-house movement, great for automatic movement for under $300, guys. You can't really beat it. I believe it's got like a 300-meter water resistance. Great versatile watch. They come in all kinds of different colors. They have like a blue dial. They have a vibrant red dial. They even have like a teal dial, which is kind of cool, like almost like a teal kind of green dial. And of course, they have a black dial. So they have many different options, different colorways for you guys and gals if you want to choose one. And the size is pretty versatile. It's about 42, 43 millimeter size. I used to own one. If you look back in my older videos, you can go catch my review of it. And definitely a great everyday kind of wear. Like I said, one you don't have to worry about spending a fortune on, and it comes with that automatic in-house movement, guys. Can't beat it. Now, the next one is a little bit more pricey. It's the Hamilton. This is the Scuba. It's not really talked about a lot. I'll throw a picture up here. It's part of the khaki lineup, I do believe, but it is the Scuba lineup, which is pretty cool that Hamilton has this kind of diver. I believe it retails for right around $500-600, guys. And again, I'll throw a picture up here what I'm talking about. But it's a great overall diver for something kind of versatile. Again, they do offer a lot of colorways, guys. They have many different variations, different colorways, and again, different alternative to the Submariner at a great price. 200-300 meter water resistance, I believe, so plenty of water resistance for. And again, most of us aren't divers. There's only a few people that I know that I've talked to that actually dove or are divers. One is a saturation diver. And one of my buddies is an ex-Navy diver, so he dives, or I believe he still dives. But they basically, a lot of us complain about not enough water resistance to watch. 100-meter water resistance is more than enough for us. It's more than enough for me. The most I do is go to the beach, go to the pool. So that's basically what I don't get why a lot of, I used to be one of those ones that complained, but now I realize we don't really need all that water resistance, guys. Not as watch nerds, watch geeks like myself. But the Hamilton, the Scuba is pretty cool, the khaki lineup. The next watch I want to talk about is the Steinhardt lineup. Any of the Ocean ones, any of your Ocean watches from Steinhardt. I've had a couple Steinhardt in on the channel before, and they are almost a direct homage, direct copy of the Submariner. So if you're liking that look, they have a 39mm size. They have a 41 or 42mm size, I believe. So it has varies from wrist to wrist, what you'll be able to fit, what you'll be able to wear. They have the military, they have the old school vintage kind of look. They also have the new blue dial, which is also a kind of a Black Bay homage to the new Black Bay blue. They have all kind of different, just look on where I would recommend buying them from. I do believe they ship globally is Nomon Watches. Not sponsored by them or anything, but Nomon, if you're watching and you do want sponsored, hit a guy up. But anyways, guys, the Steinhardt is a great lineup, especially if you're looking for that Rolex Submariner look and you like that vintage kind of feel. They're really quality made watches. Now, there's been some hearsay as to whether they're really Swiss made or not, but that's neither here nor there. The quality of the watch is really great, guys, and I definitely recommend them for right around $500, $600 US dollars. I'm not sure what that translates into in euros and pounds and all that. But for right around $500-$600, you get a killer watch, killer price, great daily wear, and you can also test drive that Submariner look without worrying about it being replica, whatever, wearing a fake, which I do not recommend fakes at all. Homages I'm cool with, but complete fakes, no. On to the next one is NTH. As you know, I've had a lot of experience with NTH. I've had a couple in for review. Now, NTH is a micro brand as well. I had the privilege of meeting the owner, Chris Vale, a couple of years back. Again, I will say that he is definitely a watch enthusiast. You can tell by talking to him, he has a lot of knowledge. Me and him hung out when I was up in Philly a couple of years back. Pretty cool. Shout out to Chris Dale, guys. He makes a really good product, and they have that kind of vintage, kind of Rolex Submariner feel and look, kind of like Steinhardt. Right around the same price, about $500-$600. A lot of them use that Citizen Miota movement. Really well built, really quality, really versatile, and again, you don't have to pay an arm and a leg for them, and you don't really have to worry about them too much. Pretty much any competent watchmaker is going to be able to service that watch, and you can like I say, you can take it anywhere, throw it on different NATO straps. Again, I'll throw up pictures here. Like I said, about $500-$600. Now, they do sell out quick, so you do have to get on a waiting list sometimes. The best place to buy them from is probably John over at WatchGauge.com. Shout out to John over at WatchGauge. Again, not sponsored, just had great experience buying NTH and other micro brands from John. He curates the collection himself. But again, great collection on NTH on the subs, and they definitely have that Rolex kind of feel, Rolex kind of vibe in the affordable price range. I'll go, of course, to the mid-tier luxury next. Now, the other ones I recommend, of course, is the Seiko SKX. Now, they are still going up in price, but they're great even at the $300 mark. I've seen these in Discord groups go a lot cheaper, guys. You can pick them up for around $200 some. Now, the one point or bone of contention for a lot of people on the SKX is the 7S26 movement with non-hacking hint one, which I don't get that too deep into the movement. If I'm losing a few seconds here or there, it doesn't really bother me unless it's like the Orange Monster over there, which I do sadly need to send them for service. It's like minutes behind, guys, and almost like 10 minutes running slow. So I am going to have to service that Orange Monster soon. But if it's running a couple seconds slow here or there, that doesn't really bother me, guys. So the SKX, I still put that in my list as a alternative to the Submariner. And it's a great entry-level automatic watch. I recommended it to my cousin, now cousin-in-law. I recommended it to him. He loves it. It was one of his first automatics, guys, and he still wears it all the time. He said he loves wearing it to work. Shout out to you, Sauger. But the next one on the list of the affordables is another micro brand as well, the Laurier Neptune. Now, this is not one I have had real experience with, but I've heard nothing but great things about the brand, about the owners of the brand. So, guys, if you guys want to send a Laurier in for review, let me know. I'd like to take a look at one, and I can send it back to you guys. if you're watching this. But Laurier, right around, I want to say the $500 to $600 mark. Laurier has another. They have that kind of vintage aesthetic look to them, as well as the Baltic guys. The Baltic is kind of a nice kind of vintage kind of throwback. But Laurier makes some great quality pieces. I do believe a lot of them use either the Seiko NH movement or they use the Citizen Miota movement, which again, a competent watchmaker can service both those movements, no problem, guys, and it shouldn't be too much to service it either if something were to happen to it. And again, it's an affordable alternative to a Submariner. And again, I have to reiterate, guys, this is just alternatives to Submariner, guys. This is not saying these look like one or are one. This is just alternatives in case you guys are tired. They just want to keep reiterating that. In case you guys are tired of all the games, the hype prices, because Rolex is kind of a hype beast. As we all know, don't get me wrong, I love Rolex just as much as the next guy or girl, but ultimately there's just too much going on with them right now. But the last one on the affordables list is the Longines, the Hydra Conquest. Now, I haven't had one in for review, but I was able to try one on in person when I went up to Raleigh. There was an authorized dealer for them. The Hydra Conquest does have that Submariner feel, that Submariner look, at a fraction of the price. I believe retail they're about not $9,000. They're about $900 or so, guys. Now that and you can get them cheaper, probably gray market or on sale. Probably get a discount on them, probably for around $500 or $600. I've seen them. Now, so a lot of them use a high beat quartz movement, I believe, which is really big, high frequency quartz movement. And I do believe there is also an automatic movement with that ETA movement, because Longines, of course, is part of the Swatch group. So again, any competent watchmaker will be able to service it. And for right under $1,000, probably $500-600, if you're a savvy buyer, you have a great alternative to a Submariner. Now, one more I do want to add in for, I guess, honorable mention. As you know, I've had the Glycine, the Combat Sub. That is another great alternative to a Submariner, guys. Glycine. Now, I noticed there is also a lot of point of contention with a lot of people not liking Glycine since they were brought up by Invicta. But I think Invicta's taking kind of Glycine in the right direction. They're kind of keeping them in the watch nerds kind of arena, I guess you could say. Now, the Combat Sub I had was the Golden Eye. They have many different iterations of it. I'll try to throw up some pictures here. And you can usually find them for right around $300, $350 or so on drop, other places as well, guys. So definitely a great buy with that. It's got that ETA movement because they were part of, I think they might have been part of the Swatch group. Correct me if I'm wrong down there, guys. It's been a little while since I've had one, but that gets an honorable mention. Now on to the mid-tier level watches that could be a great replacement for, or a great alternative. I had a slip there. A great alternative to Rolex Submariner are, again, when I say mid-tier, I'm saying maybe like $1,000 to $3,000 or so. The Oris Aquas, as you know, I've owned Aquas, the limited edition Great Barrier Reef, great watch. I've also had one in from Saltzman's. Saltzman's, again, is an authorized dealer. I do recommend them, not sponsored by them, just Rich from Saltzman's sends me a lot of watches for you guys, and you can get a pretty good discount. The Aquas is a great alternative, especially if you're just dipping your toes, so to speak, into the mid-tier or luxury level. Now, I know a couple grand is a lot for a lot of guys to spend on a lot, you know, on watches, but once you start from the entry level like I did, and then you hit the mid-tier, then you get more and more comfortable spending a little bit more money each time on watches. So I definitely would recommend the Oris Aquas for somebody just stepping into the entry-level luxury, as it is an in-house movement, guys, and they are still one of the few independently owned brands, and Oris just does great quality work. They're starting to work with a lot of the bigger channels like Random Rob, Bruce Williams. So if you want to go check out some great reviews by those guys, go over their channels and check them out, guys, which is pretty cool of Oris to do, that they were starting to work with social media influencers and start to send them pieces out for review. And they also did come out with an in-house caliber movement this year as well, which is pretty big for a small independent company like that. Now, as of right now, I would probably get the Solita version, just because it's just like buying a new car. You can't really go dive right into the first model year like the new Corvette, because you never know like what kind of problems are going to arise with it. Not saying Oris is bad, but you just never know with this first year. Kind of, they got to work out the bugs and stuff. But I definitely recommend maybe another year or two, probably waiting and seeing how everything pans out on that. then getting the in-house movement. But for now, the Selena movement is killer deal, killer price, guys, and it's just a great overall. You know, you're a watch nerd if you see something out there in the wild and they're wearing an Oris Aquas, guys. Again, some of the other mid-tier, sorry guys, I am looking at my notes here. Again, some of the other mid-tier watches I would recommend would be a Zen U1. Now, I know this is a different kind of iteration or a different kind of watch. This is more of a tool watch, which I guess the Submariner, of course, as you know, is a tool watch. The U1, as you know, is one of my favorite watches. I regret selling that one. I will probably definitely rebuy at some point in the future. But it's a great everyday utilitarian piece. Hardly get any scratches on it, guys. Tough as nails watch. Has that 10-minute steel with that U1 made out of the U-boat, excuse me, which they do still call the German submarines U-boats these days, guys. So that's not a bad connotation. But they come with the U-boat steel made out of that. Tough as nails watch, guys. And right around the $1,600 mark, $2,000. They also have the U50 for the smaller wrist. Now I have a bigger 7.5-inch wrist, so the U1 fits me perfect, guys. But if you have a smaller wrist, like my buddy Bobby Legs, shout out Bobby. If you have bigger or smaller wrist, you can get the U50 and it will fit you perfectly. Either or, you can't go wrong with them, especially as an alternative to a watch. They have the distinctive Lego style hands. If you're a kid of the 80s, you know the Legos like me. But again, distinctive, unique look. Another great alternative to Submariner. Now, a lot of these watches are also watches that are available, guys, because you can actually buy these either, whether it be online or from an authorized dealer. Watch Buys here in the U.S. kind of has a monopoly on Zen. I've had nothing but great deals with Watch Buys. I bought my 104 and my U1 from them, so definitely recommend Watch Buys, guys. They tend to be a little pricey, but their customer service is great. And they ship quick. They ship like literally next day, which it helps that they're probably about 3-4 hours away from me up North Carolina there, guys. Another mid-tier luxury level watch, just again looking at my notes here, guys, would be Doxa. Any of the Doxa lineup. Now, I haven't gotten a hold of new sub 200. They say those are kind of entry level Doxa. Now, you know, I've had the sub 300. I had the Clav Customer Edition. They do also have the newer sub 300, which is right around the $2,000 mark, and they are definite tool watches, dive watches that you can get now. They usually do sell out pretty quick. But they have the Caribbean, which is the blue with the orange, which I do like. They have the professional lineup, which is the plain bright orange, which Doxa is known for. As you know, I love that orange, being a Clemson fan. And they're just hardcore, just like the U1, but these Doxa is known for their hardcore kind of tooliness and divers. And they have a beads of rice bracelet, guys, that is really comfortable, second to none. The quality on these are just impeccable, guys, from the $2,000 mark. You can't really beat them. Recently, they were bought out by their parent company, I believe, Jenny, which has along the similar lines. They own that, and I believe Aquadive as well. So you can check out either of those two brands as well. But Doxa is definitely one to put on the bucket list for checking out of watches, especially another alternative to a Submariner. But on to the next watch, guys. I'm going to go back onto the higher end now spectrum of things. When I say higher end, I mean, I would say like $3,000 and up, $4,000, which is a little more comfortable or a little more than most of us are willing to spend. I know a lot of guys watching this probably like to spend in the affordable range, which is where I'm at now price-wise, which is why you haven't seen me buy too many expensive watches as of late. Though I do miss that Breitling, and I probably will rebuy that this year at some point. The Breitling Super Ocean, I actually have one in now from Rich at Saltzman's. I will show it to you guys here. This is a killer watch and a great alternative to Submariner, guys, at a fraction of the price. Again, these are available. You can usually get these at discount. These retail for about $4 grand. Now, this one does have the rubber strap. And you can get it in all kind of different colorways. I believe they have a green dial, they have a black dial, this blue dial here that I got in, and of course, you know, I love the orange dial with orange rubber. Now they also have a white dial, I believe, and like a lighter blue dial, and they do also come with a bracelet as well. The bracelet option is a little bit more, I think like $4,200 retail, but again, you can usually catch these at discount. And the Breitling Super Ocean is a great alternative to Submariner. Has about the same water resistance, I believe. You can't beat that movement in the Breitling. Look for a full review of this one coming up, guys. But again, Breitling makes some great watches, and I think Breitling's making a comeback, and definitely recommend Breitling to anyone looking for a perfect alternative. Again, you can walk into the AD, you can buy these and readily available, really easy, and you can also buy these online in a lot of places as well. And again, I recommend Rich over at Saltzman's for any of your Breitling needs, guys. Definitely a great guy to deal with. Has helped the channel out a lot. Sending a lot of cool pieces for you like this one, guys. But the next watch to look out for as an alternative, again, I'm just looking at my notes. Next watch to look out for as an alternative to the Rolex Submariner, definitely the Tudor Black Bay 58. I've held one in person. I had the old original Black Bay with the rose, the Etta. Now, I really liked that one, but it was a little too thick for me, and I wasn't a big fan of the gilt. Now, the new Black Bay 58, the black dial and the blue dial, they look killer. They have some other versions as well that they just released. Black Bay lineup, even the GMT Black Bay guys, you can pick them up for right around $3.5, $4 all day long, and they are available in the 80. When I went to Raleigh, North Carolina, when I was at Finks, they had a whole lineup of Tudor's guys, so that you can go in. Unlike Rolex, I believe Tudor now is where Rolex was about 8 years ago. You can walk into the 80, go buy them, and I have a feeling, now I don't speculate much, but I have a feeling that Tudor will be the next Rolex, considering that they are their little brother, I guess you could say, but the affordable version of Rolex, and they make a great everyday wear, and you can't go wrong with either the black dial or the blue dial, guys. Recommend either one of those for, like I said, right around $3,500, $4,000. You can't beat it for your first luxury watch, which mine was the Black Bay, the older version, of course. Nothing can't beat it for an alternative to the Rolex Submariner. Now, sorry, not trying to make this video too long, guys. It's longer than my usual videos, and I appreciate you sticking around for this long if you have. Next is any of the Grand Seiko divers. They range from $5,000 to $6,000. I can't remember the reference numbers, but I'll post up pictures up here. Now, I do know Mark of Mark Goldberg. He has the Grand Seiko diver, I believe. He loves it. I don't know if he's sold it or not. But if you watch his videos, he's on the Grand Seiko, and a lot of the Grand Seikos get nothing but praise. Now, some of these are getting a little bit harder to find, as is the case because a lot of guys are converting to Grand Seiko now, and it is kind of a popular brand to talk about. I have not, unfortunately, held one in person, but have heard nothing but great things, guys. Definitely a great overall alternative to a Rolex Submariner, guys. The finishing on them, I've heard, is superb, as they are hand finished. A lot of them are. Now, the next one on the list is the Omega Seamaster, which needs no introduction, guys. Great, versatile, everyday piece. As you know, I own the older production non-wave dial, which I love that piece, which was an upgraded version of the one that he wore in the James Bond film with Pierce Brosnan. But it definitely a great watch. And then the new one that I do like that's out now is the white dial. That's the darling of YouTubers, as it's called. And I see why the white dial is, as I've tried one on in person. And the white dial is a really killer piece, but you can't go wrong with the blue dial, the black dial. Any of the new iterations of the Seamaster, guys, perfect alternative to the Rolex Submariner. The only thing you have to get over is the helium escape valve on the end of the watch there. If you can get over that, which you get used to it, you don't even notice it's there after wearing the watch for a while. I can tell you from personal experience. Great everyday wear watch, especially around the $4,500 to $5,000 range. I think is what they retail at now, and they are generally available. The white is usually a little harder to get a hold of, which is why I was surprised that it was available at the 80 when I was up in North Carolina. But you can get a hold of them, guys, unlike the Rolex Submariner. And again, the very last but not least watch that I would like to talk about as an alternative to the Rolex Submariner is my new Grail watch, which actually replaced the 1.50 Fathoms as my Grail watch, and it was actually a lot cheaper, guys. I really love the looks of the new Glashütte CQ, and a lot of people have said that the Glashütte CQ is a lot better than the Rolex Submariner. Now, I know I'm going to get some hate in the comments down below for saying that, but it averages about $9,000 to $10,000, guys, and you can generally get one from the AD, and whatever 80 you work with, guys. I personally like of course, the black dial is pretty cool. And I personally like the blue dial. You can't go wrong with either, guys. And you can usually get a good discount on any of the glass suits. Definitely a great alternative to the Rolex Submariner. About the same price. They're about the same price as the Rolex Submariner, guys. So definitely one other option, last option to check out, guys. Definitely killer piece. And again, like I said, that's my Grail watch. One of these days I won't own one. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and thanks again for sticking around this long, guys. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and do share this video, as I do want to help the channel grow, get more subscribers, guys, and enjoy the journey of watch collecting, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.